Okay, there we go. Son of a gun. All right, hold on, because maybe I can change this. Is that working now? Can I get like a thumbs up? Son of a gun. All right. Okay, yeah, I think it's working now. How funny is that? So on YouTube this whole time and no audio. Okay, perfect. Well, we're good. We're good now. Now that the input is there. So, yo, understand. Thanks, buddy. Everyone, check out Days Dogs. Get in on the pre-sale. Not financial advice, but go do it. All right, man. See ya. Okay, we've got audio. No, guys, I've been talking. I've been talking. I don't even know how long I've been talking. You guys have been sitting here so patiently on YouTube. Oh my goodness, you guys are troopers. Just you're just sitting here going, I see the screen moving, but there's nothing happening. You guys are awesome. No, I really appreciate that. Hopefully, let me know if the audio is too loud. I haven't dialed it in or anything like that, so I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit, make sure it's mixed okay. But yeah, I went out because my kids they broke my microphone that I've been recording the educational stuff on, and so I had to get a new mic yesterday, and I tested it. It worked, but I guess I didn't get it set up on OBS. So as long as we're good now, that's what I care about. All right, psychology in trading. And by the way, we are on YouTube with audio now for everyone on the Twitter space. Of course, request the mic. Come on up here. I want to talk to you about this. But let's get into the trading mindset, and then we'll get into whales. Okay, so the trading mindset. Um, all right. When we're working about this, we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. We really need to understand the details of our trade. We need to understand, like, if we're getting in, or we're going to be buying a project, or if we're looking at, getting into Ethereum, a Bitcoin, or something. Like, I'm talking specifically with a trade setup. It's more so along the lines of actually like day trading, but it's still important with investment because we're able to understand the setup. We're able to understand if we're going to be doing dollar cost averaging, right? So maybe there's a good opportunity, but we move down and we like maybe the price continues to go down. We say, you know what, this is a good another value area, right? But we want to be thinking about these things beforehand. We want to try and have a projection of how low could this really go. And I'll tell you one thing I like to do is I like to look at a chart. So here's the list chart, beautiful list chart. But to me, it matters what the liquidity is, and I don't mean total liquidity. I mean pooled Ethereum, right? Um, some of these projects we've seen, they can dump a lot of liquidity, a lot of this pooled Ethereum. So it's helpful to understand how far from the bottom we really are, you know. And if you're at a good solid floor, then it might be good to be buying into the project if you really like it, especially if Ethereum's down, because you get the gains from the project and then you get the gains from Ethereum. If you get a 10x on a project and then Ethereum 2x's, you just did a 20x as far as your dollar value, right? That's pretty amazing. Kaiba DeFi is asking about the corgi. The corgi is back home. But I have to tell you, so I took the little girl, I put her in the backyard because she was just in the road, and yeah, she went after my chickens, and one of my chickens, it ended up being fine, but feathers all over. I hear my wife screaming, and I'm thinking like, I mean, we're out in the sticks, so I don't know, but like there's not much out here, but I was wondering like what in the hell was happening. So I'm like run outside in the backyard. I see feathers everywhere over the whole backyard, and yeah, the corgi got one of my chickens, but the chicken was fine. Didn't even get cut. You know, they're pretty resilient animals. You know, they're dinosaurs basically. So okay, we need to understand. We need to understand when getting into something where a proper entry is. Okay, and we need to understand our setup. So I want to be talking about day trading, but also, continuing to tie it back to investing into micro, small, and mid caps, because it's really important, and a lot of the same principles exist. One of the things we talked about yesterday is the level of fear that we have, right? If you're not comfortable, if you're feeling like too stressed out, or you're watching the chart just too much, not because it's exciting, but because you're like this high anxiety, high level of stress, um, then you probably have. I mean, there's a couple things that could be going on, but you probably have too much invested. You're probably over leveraged, or you're taking a position that really, we say only trade or invest with the money that you have to lose. That's a true thing, right? And there's a formula that we went over yesterday, and I can talk to you guys about this. I want to be publishing these videos. This is the first broadcast on YouTube, so it's now recorded and it's going to be out there. But it's how to manage your risk, right? And you don't want to be using your whole trading portfolio every single time, right? You want to be using a certain amount. So for instance, with micro caps, it's a little bit different because first off, I don't swing trade or day trade micro caps. I invest in micro caps. These are startup businesses with a lot of potential. Um, so when I get into a micro cap, I have a level where if I hit that certain level, I pull out my initials, and then at the next level, I'll pull out my profits, and I will leave a moon bag to see what happens, just in case I happen to be in the next Doge, right, or in the next SHIB, and my $1,000 turns into able to buy the United States or something, right? That would be that would be the moon bag, leaving it there, but I'm telling you, this type of mentality, especially in micro, small, and mid caps, it's going to make the market better. It's going to make it safer. It's still going to be volatile, still going to be fun, still going to blow out your dopamine receptors, and you're going to get that high and have that exciting, stuff. But it's when people throw in their mortgage payment and then it starts to turn on them, and then they pull out the whole damn thing, right? It's this in, out, so much in, so much out at the same time. There's no sort of consistency. There's no sort of like slow rolling or goals, or it's degen, right? And we like it. And that's always going to be a place in crypto. There's always going to be a place for that. But I do think that it's important that we start to change the space um, into a safer. I mean, if we're talking about mass adoption, it. I mean, it's fun, but we're only going to get gamblers. You know, like and there's plenty of casinos, there's plenty of online poker stuff, right? I mean, so we can get a nice decent crowd to be in here and spending the money, but it's basically gambling if you're talking about a project that can do a 30x 30x up, 20x down in a matter of 3 days. That's gambling. That's craziness. Like there's no institution in the world that's going to come in and say, "Hey, I want to be a part of that. I want to take the money that I'm legally held responsible for, right? Because I have a fiduciary responsibility to the holders of this money. I'm going to take their money and put it into something that could 30x one way and then 20x the other way the next day, right? I mean, that's just there's no way that we're going to have mass adoption in this if we don't kind of level things out. So this is where we get into the psychology of this. Don't put in more. Obviously, this is something we all know. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. But if you're feeling fear, you have too much in there, right? Or you don't believe in your strategy, you don't believe in the project. Maybe you've got that feeling in your gut. You're like, "Hey, I want this to be a good project. I want it to be real." But there's something telling you it's just not, right? It's just not. And you got to listen to your gut always, right? So understand and accept the risk. And no one, no one, and I want to start cussing a little bit because I like to cuss, but look, no one is in charge or responsible for your loss than you. Okay, there are scams, there are things, right? But even still, take responsibility for every trade, right? Every rug pull I've been a part of was my fault. My fault. Why? Because I degened in. I didn't listen to the red flags. I didn't see, I didn't do the proper DYOR. I thought I saw a green candle. Look, we've all been there. I'm not saying you're a bad person or you suck at this. What I'm saying is take responsibility, right? It's devs. I'm a dev for List, right? Check out cryptolist.com. We're building a charting platform, and the educational series that we're doing right now is so that people can understand charts. I'm a dev. I work. I mean, God, I'm putting in 12 to 16 hours every single day, 7 days a week, because I love this. I love what I'm doing, right? But I can't make the chart go up or down. I have no power to make the chart go up or down. I only have so much money, right? And we're talking about that's money flowing into the chart. That's what makes it go up and go down. And I can't control that, right? I can help. I can try. I can do what I can, right? I can network. I can get with different communities. I can do live streams. Obviously manage the responsibility and expectations and stuff like that. There's a lot that I can do to not damage the project and help it grow organically. But I can't make the chart go up or down, right? So at the end of the day, it's no one's single responsibility than yours. So you can lose every trade you take. And what I mean by that is every trade you enter, there is the potential that it's a loss, right? Good trades can be turned into losses. Bad trades can surprise you and become winners, right? The market doesn't have to do anything that we want it to do. It doesn't. I told a story yesterday of an old man that was trying to prove a point to the new technical analysis charting wizard in his company, and he came up, had lunch. He said, "All right." He's like, "All right, young buck, what is the low of the day? When should we buy this?" Right? Anyways, he does his technical analysis wizardry. He's drawing lines. He's doing all sorts of crap, right? And he says right here. He's like, boom, you get right here. And if you're on YouTube, you can see all the squiggles. But if it gets to right here, buy because it's not going to go a cent lower than that. And sure enough, the price comes down. It hits that level and it starts to move back up. The old man picks up the phone and says, dump 10 million shares of barley or whatever the commodity that they're trading was, right? And the price went straight through the floor, way, way, way down. Why? Because the guy had a bone to pick. He had a chip on his shoulder. Is there an indicator for that? Is there like, can I go and search trading view indicators of like old man grudge? Nothing comes up, right? like there's no indicator. There's nothing that's going to tell you, um, you know, that can predict that some coked out whale leaned on his keyboard wrong and sold his entire, 2,000 Ethereum bag or something like that. I mean, like it's an unpredictable market. And what we're able to do, this is the psychology part, right? What we're able to do is identify with these tools where other investors are at and trade with them. Okay? Sometimes we want to trade with them, sometimes we want to trade against them because there's other investors, right? There's clans, and I'll get into this, and then there's whales, right? Jeff, you requested the mic. I appreciate that. Anyone can request the mic and come up and talk, but yeah, chime in if you have something. No pressure though. But yeah, if you want to jump in, let me know. You can raise your hand or just unmute and come on in. So, all right, let's talk about this. So if you're watching, I'm going to pull up a few things because this gets into the psychology. We have our levels, okay? Support and resistance. Not actually too challenging, right? You find levels. We went through and mapped it on the first video. We're gonna have some more. By the way, if you want to go through and learn these modules, specific techniques one by one, instead of the kind of tangential ranting that that I go on and do. We are putting together an educational course where you can go at your own pace. And if you hold list tokens, there's no cost. Or if you want, you can go in. It's 28.99 a month, and you can go in and go through these courses. And I mean, trust me, that's a damn good price. When I was going through working with mentors, my mentors were, some of them, depending on which one I wanted to work with, were 1,000, 1,500 bucks an hour, as well as, and by the way, that I didn't have a lot of those, obviously, because who the hell could afford that? And then I was paying hundreds of dollars a month with different groups. So there's a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of investment that I've been putting into this. This is what I do for a full-time job. This is how I take care of my family, is trading. Still haven't taken a paycheck from List or anything like that. So this is how I make a living. So that, I guess, those are kind of my credentials, right? But yes, if you own list on BSC, if you own list on Ethereum, you still have access. You have access to the educational courses when these are finalized. Now that I have a new mic, I'll be able to to continue on recording these. Um, but you'll be able to go at your own pace, or if you want, you can just jump in. But basically, let me get back to these lines. Support and resistance, right? Bread and butter, bread and butter. But when you're looking at support and resistance, what are we really seeing? We're mapping out where other investors are at, because I bet you other people have these similar lines on their charts, right? Think of it as a language. We're kind of communicating, trying to figure out, okay, where should we move, right? It's like a code that we're cracking. So if we have our daily levels, right? Maybe we have our value weighted average price, or the VWAP, right? And no, this is not a Nicki Minaj reference. So when we're sorry, stupid joke, but this VWAP, this line comes across. This is an average. A lot of people trade off of that. So if we're coming up to the VWAP, there's a group of investors that are going to trade this. Some that are going to buy, some that are going to sell. When it comes to support and resistance, same thing. Investors that are going to buy, investors that are going to sell. When we're looking at, let me pull this. I'm going to pull a Fibonacci retracement, okay? Let me get rid of this. I want to make sure that the chart stays nice and clean. But we pull it from here, pull it from here. Look at this. This is the golden pocket between 0.6 and 0.66, right? Golden pocket. Came down. I've had this level for a while. We touched it, and we moved on up and moved on out. That's a successful trade. Why? Because there's a bunch of investors sitting here. Okay, let's take a look at another thing. This is why I had this level. I just want you to see this, because what we're doing is, imagine like we're adding tallies, right? We're like, okay, there's one level. Okay, there's another level. There's another level, right? So we have the SR, we have the support and resistance. We have the Fibonacci retracement. We have, I'll show you this next one. Okay, this is our fixed price. Okay, so right here. Oh, hold on, that didn't work. Got to pull up the tool first. That would help. Okay, see this red line that comes across? I'll highlight it right here. Okay, that red line that comes across, this is another one of our ticks, our little tallies, right? This is a naked point of control. We had a little bit of consolidation here, and we moved up. We never tested this level again, right? So this is a naked point of control, which means that in a given area of consolidation, we had a lot of volume concentrated in that area. That is the area where the most amount of volume was traded. Okay, so that's a point of control. It's a point of control, and it's a naked point of control if it's never been tested. So an untested point of control, aka a naked point of control, provides such a massive response very often, and you can tell it hit this wick perfectly. So what we're doing is we're saying, all right, we got this reason, we got this reason, then got this reason, but really, what are these reasons? Investors. It's a group of investors that are looking at that. A group of investors that are looking at the Fibonacci. A group of investors looking at liquidity, like people that might get wrecked because they're over leveraged. They get liquidated, meaning they had too much on the leverage, the price went down too much, and they got liquidated, and that brings in a really good and quick opportunity. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but what we're doing, why we even care at all, is because we're trying to find out, where is the money, right? Where's the money? Show me the money. And if we identify this level, there's four, maybe groups of people, investors looking to buy this level, clearly that would be better than identifying one, right? Oh, there's one reason to buy that. Well, maybe that works. Maybe that group of investors is big enough. But if there's four levels, Damn, right? We're getting these clans together. We're getting all we're getting the support and resistance clan, the Fibonacci clan, the point of control clan, all these people that focus on whatever they know, right? The MACD and the EMAs and the VWAP, whatever it is, right? And all these people, whatever they're looking at, we say, man, there's a lot of reasons that I think we're going to get some good price action here. So that's what we're doing. That's what technical analysis is. We're learning to speak a language. We're learning to decode this. And through this matrix looking candles, which is really just empty black space, and we're printing little vertical lines on it. I mean, it's so weird that it works, but the point is it does work, right? So if we have that psychology, then we understand that what we're identifying isn't actually telling us, like our lines, our horizontal line isn't telling us this is where the chart's going to move. No, it's just telling us where potential investors are going to be. And so now we're able to trade that. We're able to proceed knowing, one, every trade is our fault, the good and the bad. If you put in a trade and you get a 30x, right, on a micro cap or something like that, you're damn sure you're taking credit for that. Man, I got a 30x, right? I got a 30x, right? But then you degen into something because you see a green candle and you get wrecked or you get rugged. You're like, man, those sons of bitches, they rugged me. They didn't rug you, bro. You rugged yourself, right? You got to take responsibility. Every trade, everything is a trade, right? Not taking a trade is a trade, okay? Everything's a trade. Every trade can be a loss, right? We need to manage our risk. We need to not trade with more than what we have. If you're doing leverage trading or you're doing, like day trading, I've got a whole formula on this. Never more than 1% of your account unless you are, pretty experienced. So, all right, trading strategies. Let's see. I'm gonna keep moving here. So the secret to trading. Hmm. Okay. Trade without fear, overconfidence. Okay. No man ever reached to excellence, and this is um, this applies, right? We're talking. I don't. Sorry, it's weird with this culture because I'm not actually like one of these people that that care about gendered language. But now they live in my head rent free. So I'll see something that's like a quote. It's like no man ever. Look, no man like mankind. They're not talking about just men, right? If you're a woman, this applies to you as well. So no man ever reached to excellence in any one art or profession without having passed through the slow and painful process of study and preparation. Okay? This is this is not something that can be picked up overnight. This is something where you've got to be applying yourself, and over time, right, you'll be able to really understand and have your finger on the pulse, right? You'll be in the zone, right? Have you ever played a sport or gotten into something and you're in the zone, you're a part of whatever, you'll get there. It takes time, but no one has ever achieved excellence without the painful and slow process of study and preparation. So anything that's worthwhile, or any, it takes time, and there's a payment, right? So just keep in mind because there's a lot that goes into this. It's not something. I mean, you can get some good information, right? We're laying the seeds. We're starting to get into this and understand, but first it takes time, it takes exposure, it takes practice, and there's ways to do it. I pointed this out the other day. You can bring this up. There's a little on trading view. Bottom banner, you expand this out. There's a little paper trading. You can go through and take trades and they're not real, right? It's just paper. Like, okay, what would happen if I bought in here? I buy in this level and I'm going to sell at this level and I'm going to have my stop loss at another level. You can do paper trading, right? And see, is my strategy, is my knowledge, is it up to par? Is it working? Is it good, right? By the way, I see Oryx. What's up, buddy? You took the mic. You're welcome to unmute and say something. Oh, sorry. So you're asking about the naked point of control? Oh no, you're great. Um, oh, so you're wait a second, hold on. You're all over. So you're on. Well, I'm talking to you on Telegram right now. This is cool. Awesome. Okay. That's so funny because we've got. I see. Okay. Okay. So here's the question. They wanted to go about points of control, naked points of control again. So this is where exocharts is even better. So let's get a good. Um, let's do a volume cluster. We'll put on the points of control. Okay. All right. So if you're looking at the chart here, this red line. Okay. This is and so we're on the daily candle. Okay. So we're looking at the daily. And you can, I mean, any candle's going to have this. You can go out to the 10 minute, and there's going to be a 10-minute point of control. Okay. Oh, there you go. There's my liquidations because I was on the daily. Okay, we're gonna get into this. I'm glad I found my liquidations. So I'm on the 10-minute. You see this red line? This is the point of control. Meaning that if you look at this whole candle for the last 10 minutes and you look at the volume, so on the left hand side are sells, on the right hand side are buys. Okay, um, this we add it all up, right? And at this level is where we have the most volume traded. Okay, this is our point of control. Now I'm looking at the 10-minute. The 10-minute point of control is not going to be as powerful as say a daily or a weekly point of control. Those are much more powerful because there's much more data jammed in to into this candle or data set, right? So let's take a look at this daily. So right here, so this green line, this is where the price currently is. So we're fluctuating. We're at 30.62.30. Okay, and this is again on Bybit exchange Ethereum USD pair. This right here, 30.82.50. This is the point of control for today. Okay, so we've had $9.7 million in sell volume and $7 million in buy volume at this level. Okay, and it what I mean by a naked point of control is like look at this candle down here. So 2 days ago, okay, we had this candle came all the way down here to a low of 28.81. Okay, but this red line, this is where the most amount of volume was traded. Okay, 29.12. So this is a naked point of control because this point of control has not been tested again. So this one yesterday, right? It was here and we've tested it. Like we've gone up and down in front of this line, right? So we've gone up and down. So tomorrow, let's say that tomorrow we start out over here. This would be a naked point of control, the daily. But when we move up and we hit it, now we've tested it and now it's no longer naked, right? Now it's been tested. So that's all that means. Naked point of control is just an untested point of control, and usually you get a very good reaction out of that. So if we were to have the price drop, and we came all the way down here and hit where this red line is, this red bar, boom, we would expect a big movement back up or a big reaction because we have a big naked point of control right there. And you can get the same thing on Telegram, on TradingView. Um, you can use a tool right here. So it's in the forecasting section and it's called the fixed range volume profile. So you can take a look, you can just whatever amount of candles you want to look at and it'll show you. Here, let me zoom in. You can see that same red line. That red line is the point of control for this fixed range of candles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 candles. So for the last 10 days, right? This is where the most amount of volume has been traded. By the way, we're on YouTube, so if you want to see this live, join us on YouTube. We're also on Telegram, so you can watch it on our Telegram and check that out. But I do have that posted. I would pin it to the top, but unfortunately, I'm not able to pin anything. So I think Twitter will get that fixed soon enough. But yeah, so if you want to watch this live and chart with us and see this, you're welcome to stay on Twitter Space, no problem. But we would love to have you on YouTube or in Telegram where you can visualize it as well. Because it's kind of, TV versus radio, so to speak. But anyway, yeah, Oryx, this red line here, this is our point of control, and you can find this on Telegram. But let's take a look. So let's look at so this is the last 10 days. Let's see. Let's actually do this. Let's do so 4 hours. Let's see how accurate this is. So 4 hours, that would be 6 candles. So here to here, it would put our point of control at 30.96, and our daily is 30.82, 30.85, somewhere in there, right? So we have a bit of a difference, but ExoCharts is going to give you better data. So this is why we use it, and you can change it. Like if I did, I think I could do 100 ticks, right? It'll get a wider range, or sorry, yeah, a wider range, like bigger candles, or I can go something to like 10, and we can get really specific. Hold on, I know this looks like a mess, but now we're within 50 cents, right? So just by changing the tick size, so we can see they've got it pinned at like 3,099. What did TradingView have? They have it at 3,097. Okay, so I mean they're pretty close. So you can get away for sure with. I mean, I use the TradingView as well, but I like ExoCharts better. I think that it's a better system. So a lot of, and the reason why is a lot of whales, a lot of um, like professional day traders and stuff, they use ExoCharts, and so again, we want to use what they use. Why? Because we've got all of their investors, right? Like if there's a group, so I was paying, like I've paid people to, mentor me and teach me how to trade and stuff like that, and they had these groups that you could join and pay and be a part of and stuff, right? So if you learn what they do, then they've got their whole group that are learning a specific philosophies, certain techniques, they're looking at certain charts, right? So if you're looking at the same stuff they are, that in and of itself is another data point, because you might have another, I mean, depending on the size of the group, it could be 10 people, or you might have another 50 people, right? I mean, like if we had a trading group and we were all charting and talking about this and looking at it and sharing ideas, and we had 5,000 people, potentially that would be a big group that would be able to impact the chart, right? So if you can add these groups in 5,000 here, 10,000 here, 20,000 here, blah, blah, blah. Now you're trading with the market, which is a really cool thing. And obviously successful. But this is really what I want to get into now, because it's not always about that. And I want to show some liquidations because this is pretty fun. But I want to change this to here. Okay. If you're looking at the screen and you see this, okay, I'm on a 12-hour candle, and what I'm showing, if you see these big red dots, okay, these red circles, dots, depending on how big they are, right? These are when people got liquidated, and it's pretty cool. Liquidations suck, right? But this is part of the trading strategy as well. Um, Whales, and this comes into the whole thing. Obviously, data points are different investors, but whales are big money, big money. Matter of fact, I want to see if I can open the longs here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So perfect, perfect. What we're looking at is this. We're looking at the same time frame here. I'll go to the 12-hour Let me see if I can change this. 12 hour. Okay. So what we're looking at on TradingView is the same thing that we're looking at on exo charts as far as the candles. Hold on one second. Let me get rid of this. Okay. So this is this. Okay. We're looking at 12 hours. So this is a candle here. I think I can even put on, let's see, colored candles, colored candles. Maybe I can make them. Okay. So can you see these colored candles, the red and the green, right? So this is the same thing here. We're looking at the same thing. And when we're looking here, what we want to look at is how many liquidations actually take place. Because big money, they want you to get wrecked. And not just big money, I'm like not just whales, but there's exchanges, right? They go stop loss hunting, right? You have a stop loss or you have a liquidation, and if you get hit, like if you have a stop loss and that gets triggered, that means that it's a market sell. So let's talk about two things real quick. Market sells are what actually make the price move. Okay, that's the active response in the market, is a market sell. Okay, and then there's a limit order. Okay, or a market buy too, right? But then there's a limit order. A limit order is where you're sitting there at a certain price point waiting for someone to swap with you, right? It's a passive action. You're saying, okay, if I get to 3,000, then I'm going to buy, right? But a market order is someone that's sitting there and they're like, I don't care what the next price is, just get me a price. Get me the next price that's available. And so that you get queued up. It happens very, very quickly, right? But you then swap with someone that's waiting to be swapped with, right? So you buy a limit order because you're active. That's what moves the chart, is there's active and passive movement in the market. Yeah, go ahead. I hear someone jump in. Can you hear me okay? Maybe it was you didn't mean to unmute, so I'm just gonna mute you up because I can't that is like my kryptonite. I can't listen to feedback like reverb or something like that. So anyway, um it destroys any sort of mental concentration that I have. So why are we talking about market orders and limit orders? By the way, just another plug, we are broadcasting this on Telegram and YouTube, so you can watch this screen live if that is an interest to you. But whales. Oh yeah, Jeff, go ahead, Jeff.
I just wanted to say, I love the charts and the way you're explaining this. I mean, they help a lot. But lately, I've looked at charts and went into projects thinking it was going to do good, and I ended up losing money because the chart, there is people out there that knows how to do that chart manipulation, so you kind of lose stuff. Myself, I'd go in, if I think I'm like projects, I'm going to go in and listen to like the devs like you. That's why I'm here. I heard all about you. I kind of listen to you speak. I can hear the sincerity in your voice and in your while you're on these spaces, and that's what got me into the project. And then I went to the charts, and started looking at the charts. Because like I said, I don't just buy into it just because of the numbers. I buy into it for the devs. You guys, are what's keeping this stuff going. And there's like you say, whales. They can manipulate the charts and make it look good until you buy in, and then they turn around and sell, and then you're sitting there holding a bag that's not worth nothing.
Right. Right. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about whales. Let's talk about how to trade with whales. And again, if we're talking about Ethereum or Bitcoin or some of this, it's going to be a little different than microcaps because the strategies are different, the volatility is different, so it's not exactly the same. But before I get into that, I want to thank you for being an investor in Crypto List. We're what we're trying to do is help where we can to make the space better, and we're putting out a great project. And if you look at um, our chart is amazingly stable, right? We're not doing call groups, and this isn't like, I'm not trying to put anyone else down. I'm just saying what we're doing. We're not doing call groups. We're not doing influencers or anything like this. This is all organic growth, sharing the vision, putting out the product, matching expectations, right? We're working very hard, and I think it shows. I haven't. There are very few charts like the list chart, and matter of fact, I'll pull up the BSC list chart as well because I think we're sitting at an all-time high over here. Um, and yeah, so we're sitting at an all-time high with this. And so I appreciate the confidence. I appreciate the investment, into us. I think that we're a project that has a much higher market cap in our future, because we're just getting started, right? We haven't even fully launched our utilities yet, right? We're just getting to that point. Um, and it has a bright future, and we're not so far, right? Whales haven't had any care to come in and try and manipulate our chart or anything like that. So anyway, I really appreciate your investment and trusting in List and seeing what we're trying to build here. Um, oh, I
The reason I was saying it because I can see it now in the future. What MySpace was and what Twitter is now and Facebook, that's what CoinMarketCap's going to be compared to List in the future. CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, they're going to be a thing of the past, because you're in it to teach people as they grow, where they're in it just for the money. They don't want the way they'll list something is if you spend thousands and thousands of dollars, then you have to, if you redo your contract, you got to spend more money. You guys are out there helping people, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, well, thanks. Well, when it comes to whales, I wanna get into this because it is really important. Whales move markets, right? And they'll see where people are investing, and they need that. So it's not always good enough to say, hey, you know what? I see a lot of levels here. I want to be buying into that, right? Um, Whales will trade with and trade against the market because they have so much money, right? We're talking about positions of 10, so 5, 10, 15, 20 million dollars often, especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And in order to get their positions filled, first off, there's a fee. If you're doing a market order, you have to pay a fee, right? If your order is $20 million, you don't want to pay a fee, right? You don't want to spend $35,000 in fees for one order. That's not what you're looking at doing, or maybe even more, right? Because I forget where it is, but some of these exchanges, it's like it may even be closer to a full percentage of your order, right? And if you've got a $20 million order, that's pretty big. It's a pretty damn big order, and you're not going to want to just waste that money. I mean, that's still real money, even though you have a lot of it. So what's better? Well, what's better is to sit into a position and try to drive the market into your order. Sit with a limit order where if you sit with a limit order, you actually make money. You actually get some of that fee, which is kind of cool, right? But anyway, so you can sit there, you can get a little extra money because now you've got $20 million. But if you can get people liquidated or stopped out, liquidations or stop losses, those are market orders. It's on them, right? It's saying, hey, if you cross this line, I'm selling. Well, yeah, it crosses the line, and it's a forced sell, which moves the market even lower, right? And so if you're sitting down here and you've got a big $20 million order you're trying to get filled, right? And you can slowly sell off a little bit, keep it bearish, and then all of a sudden get past. So here, get past these levels, because in here, I'm going to draw this. Um, there's a lot. Sorry, there's a lot of liquidations just under these points of consolidation, right? So we've been consolidating and trading, and this is the liquidation zone, right? Here, I'm gonna put this here. So if you're a whale, you want to get into the liquidation zone because it's also like a domino effect, right? And this is what we can see it. We can see it live. Um, or well, I mean you can see it live, but you see these like red dots. These are dominoes. Boom, 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 boom. All these numbers coming all the way down. All these dots. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Because each time, each one of those triggers, it's an automatic sell, which takes the next lower price, and then the next lower price, the next lower price, and it just dumps. We've seen flash crashes. This is because things are over leveraged. People are over leveraged, and it just dumps. Right? And liquidation, stop losses, people are out. Meanwhile, big money is sitting here with their purchase order, right? Um, Hold on, let me do this, and I'm gonna change the color, and change this. Okay, and then you've got your whale purchase order right here, and it wicks straight down, and it fills that up, and you get $20 million paid for because you get the fees instead of paying fees because you're not doing a market order, right? And all these people get liquidated. You get your $20 million position filled, and then what happens? Then the market starts to move back up, right? Now it starts to go back up, um, and you're in profit, right? And maybe they do some market orders to keep it going to give some level of confidence, but this happens all the time. This is one of the biggest ways that whales get into a position is because they have a purchase order or a limit order, right? That gets filled because of liquidations and getting wrecked. And so this is people being irresponsible. Right? There's smart money, and then there's dumb money. and and if you're getting liquidated, that's dumb money. That is what it is, right? And then the smart money sitting down here waiting for you to get liquidated, and so they can get bought in and get the fees on top of it. So really, really interesting. So they will drive people and set things up where you're looking at indicators, right? And this is where we have to daily take a look at the narrative and say, all right, where are we going? Like I still really, really believe. And look, this isn't like a conviction, like I'm bearing my testimony of my religious belief or something, right? I'm not. It's not a dogmatic thing. What I'm saying is, it's it's probability. The probability that we move up is much greater than us moving down right now. Um, but I'm trying to figure out what the hell the whales are doing, right? Um, I'm trying to figure out where the momentum is, where are the buys? Why are there so many sells at this level? Ethereum is pretty low, right? We're at 3,000. Um, like it's not like I don't know, we're like if we back it out for the last, since I mean we've been in this price range for a year now, actually almost to the day, where this right here is a little bit, I mean, right in the average. Matter of fact, that'd be a really interesting thing to see would be the point of control for this whole fixed range. Let's take a look, see if we can get some data on this. So April, so we'll go from 1 year, way low, way low. So 23, and did you see the reaction? Look at this point of control. So this is the point of control, and we come down, we hit it, it gets hit, it gets hit. Look at this level of support, and then it moves up. Absolutely massive, massive point of control down here. Not surprised by that at all. And matter of fact, had you bought the point of control, even right now, you'd be up 30%, as much as 50% of a trade. So pretty incredible, but. Anyway, thanks for taking a look at that with me. So we're trying to figure out what whales are doing, trying to figure out what the motivation is. Because as of right now, I'm shocked that we're not moving higher. I really would be thinking that we would be moving higher, but maybe the whales are looking to get in a little bit more, right? So maybe they're putting they're trying to keep the market quailed and not getting too bullish yet. It's hard to see, but this is where we need to understand the mentality and the mindset, right? Because we've got every indicator in the world saying that we should be moving upwards, and we did, right? But is there a reason that they want to go low? Do they want to get another position filled? Possibly, right? We're talking about a lot of money here, and they have goals, they have things like that too. And of course they could sell this. I mean, look, so if they bought in here, that's 8%. So they've got gains. I mean, what is 8% of? I mean, I don't know what was actually bought. Let me see if I can find out. Um, so there were $22 million in shorts that were closed out in this 12-hour candle. Um, and then, yeah, really, really interesting. And then $12 million in longs moved back up just in this candle. Um, and then, yeah, we're seeing that they're closing out the shorts. So 12 million longs opened, and then we had 12 million longs closed. So that's really interesting. Matter of fact. Sorry, I'm just now I'm on my own little kind of like tangent, but let me take a look at this. So what would be the about 6%, something like that. So yeah, a lot of scalp trading in this area. Anyway, so long story short, we have to manage our own risk. We have to make sure that we have confidence, we understand what we're trading and why we're taking the trade. The tools that we're learning, support and resistance, points of control, any of this stuff, it's because we expect in other investors to be there and we're going to trade with them. We take this knowledge, we take full responsibility of our trade, we understand that every trade we get into can produce a loss, right? And then the last factor with the emotional trading, right, and the trading psychology is trying to understand the narrative with the whales, with the big market movers, right? Because there's certain things where you can see the 50 AMA crossing with the 200 AMA, which is the death cross, and it looks like a head and shoulders and stuff. These are a lot of buzzwords, that it's very easy for inexperienced traders to come in and take a look at that and say, oh, these lines crossed, that means bad, right? Or I see a head and shoulders, which is a spike and then a bigger spike and then a smaller spike, right? Oh, that's bad, that means we're done, right? This is entry level, easy to understand kind of technical jargon. Um, anyway, I guess what I'm saying is this: whales will produce those type of signals because they want to drive the market. They want the market to maybe feel bearish because they need the market to move in a particular direction so they get filled. Or it gets to the all-time high and you start seeing these I've said this over again, but this was one of the funniest things ever. But it was like Bitcoin was up at 50,000 or 60,000 or something, and articles, Bitcoin will never go below $40,000 again. It's impossible for Bitcoin to ever go below there again. And it's like, of course that's not true. Like just on its face, a bold-faced lie. Like, of course that's not true. And of course we went much lower. We broke into the 30s, So they were on their face wrong about that. But that's the other type of stuff where they try to drive you to be super, super, super bullish when they themselves are moving out. So this is one of the features that we want to build with the CryptoList platform, is to have our chat function tied not to a username, but tied to a wallet. So when you are hearing someone talk about a project, you can see what they're invested in. You can see, are they trying to hype up something that they're dumping? Are they trying to fud something that they're not invested in, or that they have a reason to fud, right? And get into the psychological thing as well, because if someone's in there and they're holding $700,000 of a project, and they were in, and maybe they got airdrops from the project, and they're who knows, right? And they're in there, buy everybody, buy, this is going to the moon, 1000x, let's go, 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 right? You'll be able to see that, and that's what we want out of the platform as well. It's a really cool feature. It's not going to be in the beta, but because it has to be completely custom built. But this, I think, is going to be really cool. So we'll see how that works. See how people use it. But I think that in and of itself can bring a lot of protections to investors. Um, Anyway, we talked about a whole lot. I hope that this was important. I'm just going over some of my notes that I have. Um, okay, so basically, yeah, I mean, this is basically what I wanted to cover. I mean, when it comes to emotions, when it comes to fear, when it comes to depression, you can be in the zone, and you can be also really struggling and be unable to connect, right? You can be on a hot streak. You can also be on a losing streak, right? Take some time, step away, do the things in life that really matter. I'm telling you, I love this stuff. I love crypto. I love looking at charts, but this is like a game. It's like a game. It's a sport. It's a competition. It's not going to bring that level of fulfillment, right? Whether money doesn't bring you fulfillment, right? It doesn't bring you purpose. It can enable you to do certain things. It can enable you to have maybe a different set of worries, right? Or maybe the capability of accomplishing goals or ambitions that maybe you have, right? But those are the things that would bring fulfillment. So, if you need to step away, if you're feeling too emotional, you're feeling too rocked, you're feeling um, too unable to, continue on, or you're on a losing streak, just take some time. Take some time, and trust me, the market's going to be here. Never believe that this is your only opportunity. This is your last opportunity. If I don't get in now, I'm never getting in again. Very, very rarely is that actually the case. There are opportunities on different tokens, different projects, different coins every single day, all day long. This is crypto. It never closes. You can find an opportunity, whether a long, whether a short. So keep your fear in control. Ask yourself if you are invested too much. Ask yourself if you are listening to your gut, right? Are you just believing the hype, believing the bullshit, right? Or are you being objective? Rule number one is to protect your money. You've got to protect your money. It's very, very important, right? If you don't have money to invest, then you're done, right? But it's not just fear and depression and going on a hot streak. It's also greed and euphoria, feeling like, oh, I'm done. It's only up from here. We're never coming back down. That's unrealistic. That's not being objective. Money in, money out. Of course, it can come back down, right? If you have a level and you're saying, I'm going to take my initials at this level, you better do it. You better do it. Get yourself a free trade. This is better for projects. Projects want you to take your initials out. They want that. And I don't care. If there's a dev that says don't take your initials out, get the hell out of that project. That's an inexperienced dev that doesn't know what they're talking about, that's going to get people hurt. We want you to take your initials. It's good for the project. It means that you can cash out a little bit at a certain level, right? And now you're comfortable. Whatever anxiety, whatever fear, you're comfortable, right? Because now you don't have to, if you lose everything, if it just doesn't work out, because businesses fail, right? It's not all rugs. Sometimes it's just businesses fail. I mean, how many very well funded businesses in the real world still go bankrupt and still fail? It happens all the time. The most successful people, most successful businesses, they fail all the time, right? They need, anyway, well, I won't even get into it. But so take your initials at your level. Don't let greed and euphoria cloud you in the same way we don't want stress and fear and depression to cloud your mind. Um, be in the zone, keep your finger on the pulse, find your center. But of course, if you need to, get out, go sharpen your saw, meaning take a break, go on a hike, go spend time with the family. Trading will be here when you get back, and data points are investors. Understand the narrative. If you have data points, but the narrative, meaning it makes more sense for whales to do something and maybe manipulate the data that's being out there, like the cross of death with the head and shoulders. I mean, this type of stuff oftentimes gets used and manipulated against the people, the traders, because there's a lot of people making decisions based upon that, and the whales say, how could we take advantage? How can we get into a long position or sell because of this, right? So be very wise, and keep in mind, they're not just buying. They're also shorting, meaning they can go to an exchange and make money if the price goes down as well, right? So they make money when it goes up, they make money when it goes down. They have a lot of power, a lot of influence. So trade with the data points, trade with the market. But the most important thing, something that happens very, very often, is the whales will get bought in and they move with the market, a lot of other buyers at certain levels, and then we see these parabolic moves because everybody's working in unison and going higher and higher and higher. Those are great opportunities, but you got to secure your profits. Sorry, I'm just going through my last little notes, see if there's anything else. That's about it. That's about it. I hope that this is interesting. Hope it's informative. It's teaching you a little bit along, some of the tools. We're going through a whole series. It's like a 70, I think it's like a 77 part series, and then so much more, right? So each day, each morning, we're going to be doing the crypto coffee and charts morning broadcast where we'll go through and we'll look at different things. We've done support and resistance, we've done risk management, we've done trading psychology as of today. So each day we'll kind of focus in, we'll hone our skills, we'll learn something hopefully new, and we'll be better traders together. So at this point, I'm kind of done. So I'm happy to have people come in, ask questions if there's, questions or comments or anything like that. If not, we can move on. So I'm just gonna be looking. I'm looking at Telegram, looking at Discord. Obviously, just unmute yourself. So we got a nice. We got a buy on the crypto list chart for BNB. Perfect. So when do we think the beta will be done? Okay, so this was something in the Telegram asking the beta with the site. I posted a. This is what I'm saying because deadlines are very, very hard. There's a couple things coming up. 3 days we're gonna have a meeting. This will be our like final meeting in order to get um, the bounty system done. That's not saying it will be done in 3 days, but the bounty system is nearing an end, and we'll have our final meeting on that in 3 days. Um, I posted, it's a pinned comment in the Telegram. Let me see where it is. Um, it's a document. Maybe it's not pinned. I'll repost it. Anyways, I posted a document in our Telegram that has all of the changes that we're needing to be made on the platform in order to have our MVP completed, minimum viable product, right? Once that's completed, then the beta is coming out. So the timeline is not really the important part. It's the checklist of things that have to be done in order to put it out there. Because without those things being done, I can't put it out there. So that's what we're working on, and I'm seeing progress every single day. So I would reflect on that PDF document that I posted in the group. All right. Does ExoCharts show altcoins? So somewhat. So this is what you can see. When we say altcoins, there's like on Bybit, you can get Cardano, you can get DOT, you can get Link, you can get Litecoin, you can get Uniswap, but you probably don't want that. You'll probably just want to get the KLC or Kaiba, and then also Tezos. So that's what is available there on Bybit. And then there's also obviously BitMEX and OKEX. So anything that's there, like Algo and Atom and BNB, right? You can chart it for there, but you're not going to be able to find microcaps. These are big exchanges that have that have coins and tokens on there. So that's what's available. I think ExoCharts is like $30 a month or something like that. But as we saw, a lot of this can be done with TradingView. You can't really see the rect, you can't see the volume perfectly. Like there's a lot that goes into it, and it's important to have these levels because these levels are what a lot of the professionals are trading with. So you can get, I mean, you can see we're getting within like $4 from these wicks, like the levels that we're calling are oftentimes like I think since we've started this 3 days, we've had three levels and we were within $5 on every one of these levels, right? That comes from exocharts and just putting the levels on the chart and seeing what happens. So I see Jason joined in. What's up, buddy? I saw that you sent a DM, but I got in on this broadcast, so I haven't responded yet. I would love to well, I'll respond to the message, man. Um, let's see if there's anything else. The corgi. I think I told you the corgi got back home. Uh, thanks about the yeah. Someone says the or Chipco says these training videos are pure gold. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. We are on Telegram. We're on YouTube, so you can take a look at this. Obviously, we're on Twitter as well with the space. But if you want to see it and map and do the charting with us, um, please join our Telegram or our YouTube, and you'll be able to see that. So, all right. I think I just had a call come through on my phone. All right. I think we're good with the Twitter space. Yeah. All right. We're good with the Twitter space. Sorry, I had a call come through, so if you didn't catch those last little bit. If there's nobody that wants to come in, ask questions or talk, I don't see anything on Discord. I don't see any new comments on YouTube. Let me check Telegram. I think I pinned what you wanted. Yes. Let's see. Yes, thank you, Goddard. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, so that's the PDF that I have there. So that's what I would take a look at. If you're interested in where we're at in the progression of things, we've done testing, we've come back, we've changed stuff. We want to release with a product that is going to match expectations, obviously. So take a look at the document. Take a look at crypto list. Let me just put this up here. So this is our BSC token sitting. I think. Let's see. Okay, so we're just about that all-time high. We did take that yesterday, so we're right there. We just had a half BNB buy, so that's great. And then let's take a look at the list chart on Ethereum. So Ethereum is really a lot of the buybacks go to Ethereum. So a lot of tokens are coming in. They're listing on crypto list, and they're Ethereum tokens. $1,000 of the listing fee being 1,500, $1,000 goes to buy list tokens on the open market. That $1,000 is then given back to the project that listed with us so that they can use our bounty system to pay their community for participating and being engaged with the promotion of that project. So that's really cool. So there's those types of buybacks. We have revenue that's coming in. So we have advertisements on the space. We have obviously the listings. There's um, uh, sorry. There's a lot that we can get into, so I'm not trying to get like into the weeds, but we're leasing the bounty system out to other projects, so like NFT projects or influencers. They could use the bounty system for their own stuff as well, even if they don't have a token. So all of this money, like not all of it, but all of it is accounted for, and 40% of the revenue goes to buybacks. Some to the BSC, but the majority to Ethereum. So we also have massive liquidity pool contributions and a true burn on the Ethereum token. The BSC tax has a 2% Ethereum token buyback, right? So those are the reasons to buy the Ethereum token. BSC is great as well. You save fees, lots of passive income, lots of rewards. If you hold both, you get a special, you get access to a special pool of rewards where the revenue buybacks, 80% of that goes to a pool that will be distributed out. So, anyways, I would encourage you to get the most out of the ecosystem by buying both tokens and holding it. Of course, DYOR, not financial advice, but go do it. Just kidding. Um, and I would say, let's see, last bit. Sorry, there was something else I was gonna say. Anyway, I think that's about it. Education stuff. Oh yeah, so the I was gonna say the other part of the revenue, like the educational courses. If you hold list, you can go through and learn technical analysis. You can learn how to trade and how to read charts, right? It's a self-paced process where you go through one lesson at a time. You have access to those if you hold list when this is rolled out. Um, if if that's something that interests you, you can join in by holding list tokens, or you can pay a monthly subscription amount. That too will be shared in the revenue. So, anyways, there's a lot coming out, but the platform's almost out, Bounty's almost out, education system's almost out. You can see that we're now multicasting uh, on Twitter Spaces, Telegram, YouTube, Discord, and doing these videos every single day. So there's a little bit about the project. Really encourage you to take a look at it. And yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting news coming out. So I think that's about it. Unless anyone wants to take the mic, I'll hand out mics. You just let me know. I'll give it like 30 seconds. All right, everybody. I really appreciate you. Thank you for spending the time. We've been on here for a while. I'm really enjoying going through and doing these courses. I think it's fun. So I hope that you're learning a lot. I hope that you join in tomorrow and share it out as soon as we can. We're gonna be getting some. We'll be getting some like maybe giveaways or maybe spicing it up a little bit, just to kind of maybe do like a weekly thing to get some more people in here so they can learn about list, learn about the education that we're trying to provide. Because I think that this makes for a safer space, whether you're micro caps, small caps, mid caps, or the big boy coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin and stuff like that. So anyway, thanks everybody. Appreciate your time. You have a lovely, lovely day. Be safe out there. We all know it's 420, so be responsible. And if that's something that you partake in, then do so responsibly. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Okay, so I closed the Twitter space down. I don't know if anyone else here on Telegram or YouTube wants to say anything, but I'm going to be closing down YouTube real quick. So